The new work of the producer of the cult horror of recent years promises to bring the genre to the fresh territory of the American football field. In September, the film will be released in international rental. He will be a gloomy psychological thriller, combining the tension of sports drama with elements of an intensive horror. Justin Teeping, known for the series Black Monday, is responsible for the production. The plot is concentrated on Cameron Cade Young Clutterbuck, which is considered the future star of the National League. He is talented, disciplined, and determined to break through to the very top. However, everything collapses after the attack of an obsessive fan of a heavy traumatic brain injury, doubts of team doctors, and the threat of the end of his career. The only chance to return to the game to accept the invitation of the legendary Ijaz White, a multiple champion who organized a closed training base for athletes dreaming of a big return. At first glance, this is a chance that you can only dream of. But an isolated location, the lack of communication with the outside world, and the more strange behavior of Ijaz creates that something is wrong here. Training becomes physically and psychologically unbearable. Strange sounds, night hallucinations, frightening disappearance, all this enhances the alarm of Cameron. Gradually, the hero begins to suspect that his mentor is not just a tough coach, but a figure with a dark past and manic commitment to the idea of power through suffering. The main roles were played by Tariq Leshan Withers and Marlon Wayans. Withers, a former college league player, reliably embodies both physical power and the athlete's internal vulnerability on the verge. Wayans appears in the unusual gloomy role of a charismatic, but frightening mentor. They are supported by Julia Fox, Tim Heidecker, and Don Benjamin. The audience familiar with the latest works in the body horror genre, he already compares with last year's hit The Substance. However, this time we are not talking about the standards of beauty, but about physical and mental exhaustion in sports. The creators are clearly striving to show how the cult of perfection in the American sports system can turn into a nightmare, where the boundaries between preparation and violence are erased. The film is released on the 19th of September. The next directorial project of the producer, whose name is associated with new faces of the horror genre, is scheduled for 2026 years.